Alright, I had some weird little camera trouble here. Started talking about Big Bob and then my camera went crazy. Alright, so where were we? We're talking about the in-house fight. Like, there's some real shadiness going on surrounding those in-house fights at Top Rank. So let's move on to matchmaking. And matchmaking is basically the same thing as repetition. You know, there was not a lot of top tier competition matchmaking. You know, Bob Arum wasn't going outside of Top Rank to find any type of competition for Pacquiao. Outside of him really wanting the Mayweather fight. And whether he just wanted that for money or if he actually thought Pacquiao could beat Mayweather, it's all, you know, that's all on Big Bob's head, you know, allegedly. So when you just think about those three things, you know, matchmaking, money, and repetition, it was all a recipe for Pacquiao to finally have to say, you know what, I can't grow as a fighter here anymore. You know, there's nothing left for me to do here. If you're not going to cross-promote me, I mean, what's the purpose of me being here? And I think this is the problem Pacquiao was having. The thing I don't like about Pacquiao is he's not always able to speak for himself because he doesn't speak fluent English. There's always a middleman in everything he does. So, and I think they're cleaning that up by putting more Filipinos who have his best interests at heart, who speak fluent English around him, so they can, you know, kind of clean that up a little bit, because you can't send, I mean, I'm not saying this to down Pacquiao in any way, but you can't send Manny Pacquiao into alone into a contract signing situation and expect for it to go his way. And the people controlling him, I feel like, knew that. And I think that's the reason he had to get rid of his lawyer, he had to get rid of his advisor, and he had to rethink his situation even with his trainer, because you never know who's trying to manipulate the situation at that point, you know. And even now it's almost like, you know, with the whole Mayweather situation, and people thinking Pacquiao only signed to Al Heyman because he wanted the Mayweather fight. You know, I don't think that's the whole reason. And I spoke on this in my, I think, my Boo Boy video, where I was talking about Boo Boy. But Pacquiao finally spoke on one of the reasons why. I said he has, I believe, 40 fighters in the Philippines that he couldn't get promoted through Bob Arum, allegedly. And, you know, I believe Al Heyman is giving those fighters a chance, you know, to be on undercards and things like that. So there was some of the reason was to try to push MP Promotions, and I guess Bob Arum didn't want to pay Pacquiao and pay him and his fighters at the same time, allegedly. So I just feel like it was time for Pacquiao to move on, you know. And I think now all Top Rank fighters are saying it might be time to move on, you know. Bob Arum is not in it for your best interest. Even though Bob Arum has had, you know, some of the biggest names, if not all of the biggest names in boxing at one point. It's just not in your best interest to be under Top Rank anymore, you know. And I'm not saying that it's under anybody's best interest to go with PBC or the Zone or any promotional company other than your own, you know, at this point. Unfortunately, all the big companies hold most of the advertising dollars, kind of similar to what goes on YouTube. So you're kind of beholden to whatever rules that they set forth. And some of these rules might hinder your career in a way. So it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't in a way. And I just feel like guys like Terrence Crawford are starting to realize that, you know, eventually, I think Crawford Lomachenko is going to have the same problem because he doesn't speak English. And he doesn't speak it fluently, so he doesn't understand probably all the time what business deals are going on that, you know, he might not really even want going on, allegedly. And I just feel like at some point Pacquiao wanted to not only move on but push his own brand, because he has a global and an even bigger name than Floyd Mayweather in the sport of boxing. And it was pointless for him to still be just a fighter under somebody's promotional company. And I feel like at some point Terrence Crawford, to get these big fights, is going to have to do the same thing. He's either going to have to start his own and become his own promotional company, or he's going to have to sign with somebody else. Because it's never in Bob Arum's best interest to do anything more than those three things to any superstar he has who can't command their own way. And what I mean by that is Mayweather commanded his own way. You know, he could say, I'm the A-side, I'm this, I'm that, you know, and everybody still wanted to fight him. Terrence Crawford can't do that, you know. He can't demand anything from Earl Spence because the guy's getting so much money from PBC. And I'm pretty sure Crawford's starting to see that. Like, damn, these guys is making probably a whole lot more than I am and being exposed a whole lot more than I am to the public. And I feel like, you know, Bob Arum now coming out and saying he didn't want Pacquiao to get hurt is a complete fabrication and a lie, because I have a video of him saying the complete opposite, and it's in one of my videos. And it's in a lot of other videos, you know. This is footage I took from Creative Commons YouTube, and we're going to get into that here in a second, too. But I have footage of him saying that his matchmakers said Manny is too much for Crawford. And I feel like that's the reason they weren't paired up. It's because he knows, and his matchmakers know, it's bad for business. And if Pacquiao was going to leave anyway, and they knew how long his contract was, which is why they kept trying to extend it, why pair him up with Terrence Crawford, him beat Terrence Crawford, and leave? And now you're left with a unsellable Terrence Crawford if he doesn't put up a truly epic performance. All you have left is Crawford Lomachenko. And you can't really put Lomachenko's never going to get to that superstar status because there's not a lot of guys at his weight class, you know, that are going to push him out to a really big audience. And they know all this, you know, allegedly. But they know all of this, you know. Most boxing fans don't care about the politics of boxing, you know. I watched Top Rank for a long time, so I've been able to study a lot of what goes on over there. And it's not hard to figure it out. But at some point, Terrence Crawford is going to have to realize that just not the A-side, buddy. And you're not the A-side because Earl Spence is so much better than you, or he has more belts, or it's worth more money. You're not the A-side because there's nothing left at Top Rank Boxing. There's nothing sellable at Top Rank Boxing. Everything that's sellable is at PBC. And that's why you're stuck on Blood Island. That's why you're stuck on Top Rank Island. And unless Bob Arum wants to cross-promote and stop trying to cheat people by making in-house fights and share the wealth actually with his fighters and the wealth with the fans who are tired of being ripped off by these fights. It's never going to change, man. And he's just going to have to be the lone guy looking in on everybody else being successful in the sport of boxing. Now, I went on long enough. I'm probably going to have to make this a 2-part video. Let's touch on why I keep saying allegedly and why I know what I'm saying is kind of right. Okay, so